Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So what's up, everybody? It's Friday night. I'm out here driving in this rain, but I wanted to talk some boxing because I noticed a comment that somebody left on my video about the whole Saddam Ali Munguia fight not being a setup. And damn, it's dark as fuck up here. About it not being a setup. And someone basically left a comment saying why me and myself and other people are rushing for Jaime Munguia to fight Hurd and Charlo. Now, I can't speak for anyone else, but this is my take on it. At this point in time, the super welterweight, junior middleweight division is my favorite division in boxing. It's my favorite division because you have guys like Jarrett Hurd, Jermell Charlo, Erislan De Lara, Erickson Lubin, Austin Trout, Tony Harrison, even guys a few years back like Willie Monroe. I may be forgetting somebody's name. Shit, right now even Kell Brook, you can throw his name in the hat. You have even guys that are, in my opinion, lower tier fighters like Ishii Smith, and just a bunch of guys, even the Liam Smith guy. The thing I like about the 154-pound division as a whole is they all consistently, well, if not all, a high percentage, I would say in the 90th percentile, they conduct themselves how fighters should conduct themselves. And what I mean by that is they all want smoke. And if they don't, it appears that they want smoke. Now, previously, I've stated, well, after Saddam Ali won that WBO strap off of Miguel Cotto, I felt like Cotto was the weak link because he wasn't trying to mix it up with these lines. I felt like Saddam Ali was the weak link because he didn't want to mix it up with the lines, but he ended up getting bit in the ass when it comes to this young boy, Jaime Munguia. Now, coming full circle, and since I just mentioned Jaime Munguia, I am big on Jaime fighting Jermell Charlo or Jarrett Hurd because I want this division to consistently stay in the type of going in the type of direction that it's been headed in, and that's champions, top contenders, and even prospects wanting all the smoke in the world. It doesn't matter if they're ready to knock their opponent out in the first round. They're willing to they're going to be knocking off a guy like Erislan De Lara, or if they're going to be like a young prospect in Erickson Lubin, having all the belief in the world, but he gets stopped in the first round. The division, when it comes to the outcome and the success for fighters, is definitely multifaceted, but it's entertaining. It's boxing. It's giving me and plenty of other fans what we want from other divisions. Like if the welterweight division in a whole conducted themselves in the same manner as 154, Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence would have happened. Errol Spence versus Sean Porter would have happened. Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter would have happened months ago, maybe even a year ago, since Thurman has been out for a long time. You'll have guys like Porter, Garcia, and Thurman that would be screaming Terrence Crawford's name from the mountaintop. It would be mixed up. You'll have old heads like Manny Pacquiao ready and willing to get in the ring and put it all out on the line because he believes that he is the best and he is a legend and he has no problem putting his reputation on the line. But that's not how the welterweight division conducts itself. So, with that being said, it's not about pressuring this young fighter in Jaime Munguia, because last time I checked, Erickson Lubin was a young fighter. I was all for Erickson Lubin getting in the ring. If Erickson Lubin somehow, some way would have knocked off Jermell Charlo, I would have had the same expectations for Erickson Lubin. And that's, okay, young boy, now you got to fight Jarrett Hurd. Now you have to fight Arislandi Lara. Now you have to fight Austin Trout. So for Jaime Munguia, he needs to unify. Well, obviously now he can't fight Jermell. Obviously right now he can't fight Austin Trout. But if I'm not mistaken, Jarrett Hurd said he wants to fight an Orthodox fighter. And I'll get into that a little bit later, because it seemed like a lot of people, I've noticed some people criticizing Jarrett Hurd for that. So if Jaime is going to fight Jarrett Hurd, or if he's going to fight Akil Brook, honestly at this point, I don't give a damn who he fights. But as long as he's not fighting any weak opposition, that's all I'm about. I want him to be in tough fights. So he may not be getting the Jermell Charlos or the Jarrett Hurds or the Austin Trouts of the division right away. But he needs to show us that he's headed into that direction. That's all I want from him. And now to get off of the Jaime Munguia topic, I also want to talk about the whole Jarrett Hurd wanting to fight an Orthodox fighter. Me, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. I mean, just looking at the overall state of boxing, if we're going to go from the heavyweight division down to the middleweight division or the welterweight, the little guys, Jarrett Hurd has challenged himself over and over and over again. Some people may look at Tony Harrison and may say, well, it was nothing special about Tony Harrison. Well, Jarrett Hurd was losing that fight prior to stopping Tony Harrison. Now, obviously, we all know styles makes fights, and Tony Harrison is a very technical, slick fighter, and he was giving my boy Jarrett Hurd some problems. But what did Jarrett Hurd do? He rose to the occasion. He rose to the occasion, and he got the job done. Next, Jarrett Hurd had a tough fight with Austin Trout, a southpaw. You know, he started off with Tony Harrison, an Orthodox fighter, and prepare him for a very technical fighter. Okay, cool. You have two camps back to back where he's preparing to fight a southpaw. So to me, it only makes sense that he's been getting that good work from southpaw fighters, and now he has to get to the point where he's comfortable. Yes, you can spar all day, but he needs to get comfortable for a fight. And at this point, it will be another unification bout. So it only makes sense to be as prepared as possible. And it's not like he only fought Lara and he was fighting the bombs of the world prior to Lara. He was in difficult fights before he got into the fight with Arislandi Lara. He fought an Austin Trout. The Austin Trout that wasn't stopped by Canelo. The Austin Trout that defeated a more prime Miguel Cotto. The Austin Trout that went the distance with Jermell Charlo, the bigger puncher between the Charlos. And you can't dismiss the Austin Trout that Jarrett Hurd stopped, because this is the same Austin Trout that Jermell Charlo is about to fight next. No shade or no disrespect to Jermell Charlo, because I hold Austin Trout in very high regards. So I need that to be made clear. So I have no problem with Jarrett Hurd wanting to fight an Orthodox fighter prior to the biggest fight of his life, prior to what the consensus may say is the best 154-pounder in Jermell Charlo in his division. With all of that being said, let me take a step back. Also, I watched an interview with Barbershop Conversations. So shout out to Fred from Barbershop Conversations. I watched the interview that he had with Jarrett Hurd. And Jarrett Hurd, and I don't know the other guy that was in the video with Jarrett Hurd and Fred that was with Jarrett Hurd's camp. But basically, they let it be known that they want the fight. They want that Jermell Charlo fight. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with Jarrett Hurd wanting to fight an Orthodox fighter prior to Jermell Charlo. But that's just my take on it. I wanted to discuss my favorite division in boxing. This Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. I'm about to pull up to this gym, get this workout in, Go gym style, and I'm out.